Everybody, we are live on a beautiful Friday night here from SoCal on the Bond Factor, and it's great to have you with us tonight as we are, I guess I should say, at least I am just completely enthralled by a lot of what I'm seeing going on in the political world today. It's incredible what is happening. And so thanks for being with us. And as we learn and grow with this show, I just am so happy to be with you. As you may have noticed, I don't have headphones tonight. I've got a hat kind of celebrating our second live Friday night. I've got my shades, or I should say glasses, that just aren't the greatest. But we're still moving forward, and things are getting more interesting. And if you're not keeping yourself informed on what's happening out there, it's incredible. So anyway, we're going to go ahead now and introduce you to Danney Williams, who is, I believe, the son of Bill Clinton. We're going to take a little look at him here, and I guess start off mostly with what he has to say before I say anything. Let's see if we can bring him in here.
Bro, I mean, my aunt, she worked 2 jobs trying to raise us, me and my little brothers and sisters. I mean, everybody in Arkansas at the time I was coming up knew about me being his son, preachers and all. So I just want to be able to just, have this chance and get myself out and explaining who I am and why am I facing the world today to reach my father. My mom had lost custody of us. My aunt had got
Sure,
custody.
you're in, right?
Yeah, right. My aunt had got custody of her. My aunt Lucia. So one day she was like, I want, she took me down to the governor's mansion. And she was like, we're going to let him know that you're his son. So we went down there, and she had to sneak through the gates. And she went up to the door, and the butler answered the door. And she asked for Hillary. And the door was slammed in her face, and we was told to get off the property. So she took off running, snatching me by one arm, and all I can remember was my arm hurting, and she snatching me to jump over the fence. And she asked me all the time, do you remember me taking you to the governor's mansion? I said, yeah, I remember. I remember you snatching my arm and taking off running. So.
Okay, I want to say right here, does this sound like a man who is making something up? I mean, that's one of the first things that comes to mind here, not to mention the physical resemblance. And of course, again, we're talking here about the war going on between Trump and the rest of the world, and this is a huge factor if you're paying any attention at all.
I mean, it's never went away. I mean, he have delivered Christmas gifts to my home by Arkansas State Troopers. He
right.
Paid my mom under the table up until the time he made president in 1993.
This is a narrative that comes out from her by that Hillary.
There you go, InfoWars, and certainly want to thank them. They're the ones bringing this out. So here he is, Mr. Williams, coming forward. This is just the other day on Infowars.com. Amazing story here as he speaks out about sort of how he's been abandoned because of the fact that he doesn't fit in to the Clinton narrative.
Runs the show. Hillary's the boss.
Right.
She actually manages him and uses his issues as a control mechanism. From your research, who is it that kept you away from the man you believe to be your father?
Correct. I think Hillary is the one that kept me away. I mean, as a married couple, your decisions are one. So I'm sure she know of me, and I'm sure she had parts in with the all the publicity, all the stories in the press that falsely reports all. We have taken the DNA. All of that is false. So, I really do think she has played a part in as they call banishing me.
I think that word right there, he comes up right at the end, banishing. I mean, isn't that pretty much what we're talking about? What's probably happened to this guy? I mean, can you imagine? And he goes on to say, and it's worth go to Infowars.com and get the full. The interview goes on for a few more minutes, probably 10 more minutes, and he talks about how he's thought about suicide and some of those things, and it's really sad to see his whole life it has just been the fact that he doesn't fit into a narrative of a family that's had to leave him behind. And I think one of the interesting thing, is the childhood memories that he has, of these images that, you can't make that stuff up. So pretty interesting stuff right there, as sort of a side note that I think you're not really going to see much coverage. And if you, really look at the guy, he looks,
First started learning, I was
an awful lot like Clinton, don't you think? I mean, he's got that look. So anyway, we'll be back right after this, Bond Factor.